man, so the 2022 bear market has just claimed its next big victim with one of the world's largest Bitcoin miners filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. This is huge news we are waking up to, with 10% of the world's global computing power on the Bitcoin network going into bankruptcy. What does this mean for the crypto space? What does this mean for the Bitcoin price? We're also going to take a look at how it's affecting some of our favorite altcoins. Guys, smash the likes, don't forget to subscribe. Let's get straight into this content, because as you can see here, Core Scientific, also known as ticker symbol CORZ, has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. This is one of the world's largest Bitcoin miners. To give you an idea of scale, they have 143,000 mining rigs and they host another 100,000 rigs. Again, let me put that into context, guys. Here's the current Bitcoin mining rate, just shy of 240,000 exahashes per second. Now, Core Scientific account for 10% of that, okay? Around 24 exahashes between what they operate and what they host. So this is not a minor situation right now. We've got one of the world's largest miners capitulating, going into bankruptcy, and struggling with the combination of risks we are seeing right now. What does this mean for others, right? We know, for example, that Iris Energy had to unplug 72% of their computing power. We know that in this case, Core Scientific, they warned us earlier, late October, that they would be struggling to pay some of the installments. They suffered strongly from the Celsius mining arm, because remember, Celsius had a mining arm who's one of their biggest customers. They also suffered a bit from the BlockFi, who owed 54 million, right? So lots going on here. They operate 243,000 machines, and this is not a joke. This is 10% of the compute power of the Bitcoin network. And remember, you guys know, what is the value of the crypto network? It's in the combined compute power. Nothing else, none of the speculation, none of the influencers, none of crypto Twitter. It's about the compute power that holds the value. It's a proof of work system. People mining generates value in the compute power, which makes it less difficult to bring the network down. When you lose 10% of your network like that overnight, it's going to have some ramifications. So we need to monitor, what does this mean? But interestingly, here, as we take a look at the Fear and Greed Index, we've notched down slightly as expected, down to 26. But if you take a look at the Bitcoin price, it's holding up pretty well, which is a little bit confusing. So we're down 0.38% at the time of recording this video. Yes, we've not managed to build on yesterday's successful day. We covered that off yesterday in terms of what happened with the Japanese yen. And I think one of the reasons Bitcoin's holding up pretty well today is there continues to be a little bit of softness in the dollar index and the US 10-year. So you can see the dollar index is showing another red day so far today, continues to be on its downward trend. And you've got the US 10-year giving up 1% today. So that's probably helping Bitcoin reduce its losses today. But you can see another red candle here on Bitcoin. And I personally would be preparing for another retest of 16,240. And this time, if we lose it, then guys, you've got to start bringing into play 15,500 again here on the Bitcoin price. Let's take a look at the EMA ribbon, and you can see exactly where this red candle appears is us getting rejected from this EMA ribbon. It's no coincidence yesterday that when we had our wick on the candlestick, we're getting rejected by this EMA ribbon, which is acting like strong resistance, which is just going to give us a lower high, right? We had a high there, you end up having a lower high, and you end up posting a lower low, and you start downtrending to the downside. Again, if I'm speaking gibberish and you don't understand what I'm talking about, ijaz.uk/TA, free technical analysis course, you can keep up and understand all the different things to do with technical analysis. Now, let's also take a look at the Bollinger Band. And again, we cover this off in the free TA course as well. And you can see here exactly as we expected, guys. I remember when we made this video a couple of days ago, we said we're at the top of the Bollinger Band. Do not be surprised to see us get rejected. And you get rejected perfectly all the way to the bottom of the Bollinger Band, and then you get a bounce. Now, two things can happen. Sometimes you get rejected by the middle of the Bollinger Band, in which case you want to revisit back down to the levels we're saying, which brings you to that 16,300 range. Or it can work its way up to 17,500 before seeing if we get rejected from there. Okay, so those are the levels I'm looking for. If we do not get rejected by the red line, we could have a little bit more of a relief up towards here before seeing some more sell pressure at the top. Now, it's interesting that this news is not having a major effect. I guess, you know, it's to do with the dollar index and the US 10-year moving, but this is a big deal. I don't want to minimize it, but at the same time, I don't want to spread FUD, but you do have a major mining company facing issues, right? Going into bankruptcy. And you've got to understand that the issues they are facing, whilst the Celsius bit might be specific to them, is an issue for all miners. If you think about it, you're running a mining operation. What are your main costs? Your main costs are costs in the physical world, mainly related to energy pricing. What's happened to energy costs over this recent period? They've gone rocketing high, right? And what do you as a mining company use to pay for the energy costs? Well, you sell some of your Bitcoin to pay for your operations. That's the business model that these miners have. But what we've seen here is the Bitcoin prices retraced 75, 76%. Huge retracement. You've gone from a $69,000 Bitcoin down to $16,000 Bitcoin, right? So you're having to sell a lot more of your Bitcoin, 5, 6, 7 times the number of Bitcoin you would have had to sell previously when you're at your all-time highs. And at the same time, energy costs are going against you. So the Bitcoin price is swimming against you, the energy price is swimming against you, and you're getting squashed in the middle where you really start to struggle. And the aim of this game for all mining companies is just to survive, have enough liquidity to get through this mess, right? But the longer this bear market operates for, the more capitulation you get. And this is the model of the crypto markets. Long, drawn out, painful bear markets, which really rinse out the weak, right? Any weak miners, any weak exchanges, any weak retail investors or institutional investors, you get wrung out to dry. And then when final capitulation occurs, then the Bitcoin price goes, you know what, we're ready to get out of this bear market. Let's carry on now that we only have the fittest with us on this next leg of the journey. So you're starting to see a little bit of capitulation from some of these miners. And I just hope this doesn't have a further contagion effect. Because one thing we are noticing, every single bankruptcy that is occurring has a domino related to the previous, right? They always have some link towards Celsius, towards Voyager, towards Terra Luna, towards Sam Bankman-Fried. It's all interconnected because the crypto space is small, whether we like it or not. And there are all these little dealings and tradings with each other, whether legally or unlegal. I'm not saying they're all illegal, but what I'm saying is they're all intertwined, right? They all work with each other, and therefore if one domino collapses, the rest start to follow suit as well. Okay, let's now take a look at a few altcoins, because I do want to take a look at Phantom. A lot of you guys have been saying, why have you not looked at Phantom for a while? Because it's not doing anything. And we need to focus on the Bitcoin price because we're in a deep bear market. All these altcoins are just going to follow suit. You can see Phantom down 1.38% today, sitting here comfortably at 20 cents. But again, where's it going to head to? You've got a lower high now, and the question is going to be, are we going to come back down to this 16 cents mark, or can we build some strength and work our way towards 24? Let's bring out the EMA ribbon, and you can see here we're below our daily EMA ribbon, but the opposite to Bitcoin is we've managed to get above it, then fall back below it, get above it, and then fall back below it. So we're definitely in sideways motion. This is defined as sideways motion in terms of the trend here for Phantom. To get more direction, let's bring out the Bollinger Band. And you can see here we are at the bottom of the Bollinger Band. So the question is going to be, if Bitcoin can get a little bit of movement, Phantom can benefit from a little bit of movement up towards the top of its Bollinger Band as well, because we are retraced here on our Bollinger Band. Let's also zoom out to the weekly. It's always important to look at the broader trend here on some of your favorite altcoins. And let's clear out some of these drawings. Let's bring out the weekly EMA ribbon, and you can see we continue to be in a steep bear market here, retraced from our EMA ribbon, but not as bad as some other coins, right? You can see here that once we fell in May and then June, we've gone sideways, right? We haven't continued to fall. Now, if I compare that to something like Bitcoin, let's just pull out the equivalent chart for Bitcoin, you can see that it's a little bit more of a diagonal trend, right? It hasn't gone completely sideways. It has fallen generally across there. Okay, so it has been holding up pretty well. Let's also take a look at Ethereum. You can see Ethereum is, again, below its weekly EMA ribbon. Let's drop that down to the daily chart. And what we can see here for Ethereum is, are we going to test the support? We've got support at 1,000. If we get to 1,000, I'm happy to buy some more Ethereum. At these price points, I'm not super excited to buy. I'd want to see it lower down on the bottom of the channel because we've not seen it down at 1,000 since summer. So we've not seen it since June, July period that it's fallen down to the 1,000 mark. So if we do get there, I'm happy to nibble. Otherwise, I'm happy for it to just kind of move sideways here in this channel, which is absolutely fine. Let's also take a look at a few others. Avalanche down 1%. Again, not one I'm actively loading up on right now. Cardano down 2.3%. Absolutely getting wrecked here, Cardano. Just for whatever reason, people really are hating on Cardano, which is impressive to see. But again, if you have conviction in a project like this, it's a good time to be doubling down on this and making sure you've got enough of it in your portfolio, right? Based on the allocations you want to have set. So there you have it, guys. A rocky day in the crypto markets. One of the major Bitcoin miners capitulating and filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy. It's important to note that they've done a pre-packed bankruptcy, which means that they've agreed some terms with their creditors going into the bankruptcy filing. Let's just hope that, this isn't a first step of many other miners struggling, and let's hope that this is a contained pain for this miner specifically. But when you look at the macro factors of energy prices and a deep prolonged bear market, you just can't help but think there could be a few more victims. And I remember tweeting this just over 4 or 5 days ago that I think there's going to be one more victim in this bear market. And I said specifically, I don't think it's Binance, because a lot of people are replying to me on Twitter saying, oh, you think Binance is going to go down? I just felt like there was one more. And it's interesting that now a mining company is in that position. Hope you guys enjoyed this video as always. Don't forget to smash up likes. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out this video here for how to build wealth in crypto in 2023. And I'll see you in the next one.